This video will help you with your past tense verb conjugations to help you prepare for your Arabic 132 course, your second semester course. We left off with the verb to eat for this video. Akala with a hamsa starting out the verb. Akala is to eat. So let's start conjugating it. Ana akaltu. I ate. Ana akaltu. Anta akalta. You masculinate. Anta akalta. If you want to say to a woman that you ate, so you feminine ate. Anti akalti. Anti akalti. If you want to say to someone he ate something, huwa akala. Huwa akala. And remember to pronounce that fatha over the last letter for these third person singular masculine conjugations. Huwa akala. What about she ate? Hiya akalat. Hiya akalat. For we ate. Nahnu akalna. Nahnu akalna. For you all ate. Antum akaltum. Antum akaltum. For they ate. Hum akalu. Hum akalu. If you want to say I ate it and you're referring to a masculine it, akaltuhu, akaltuhu, I ate it, akaltuhu. You want to say I ate it and whatever you're referring to is a feminine thing that you ate, akaltuha, akaltuha. And then the concept of eating, the subject of eating, the verbal noun is al-akal, al-akal, al-akal jayid, eating is good. Next, we're going to cover the past tense conjugation for to memorize. Hafida, hafida, with our exhale H, ha, and our the, our the, our the. Hafida. Ana hafidtu. Ana hafidtu. I memorized. Anta hafidta. Anta hafidta. You masculine memorized. Anti hafidti. Anti hafidti. This is if you want to tell a woman you memorized. Huwa hafida. Huwa hafida. Now, this one that we just covered is he memorized. Make sure you pronounce that fatha above the last letter. Huwa hafida. For she memorized. Hiya hafidat. Hiya hafidat. Hiya hafidat. Nahnu hafidna. Nahnu hafidna. We memorized. Antum hafidtum. Antum hafidtum. You all memorized. Hum hafidhu. Hum hafidhu. They memorized. Hum hafidhu. And if you want to say I memorized it, whatever it was is masculine, hafidtuhu. Hafidtuhu. If whatever you memorized was feminine, you'd say hafidtuha. I memorized it. Hafidtuha. Hafidtuha. And then the subject, the concept, the verbal noun of memorizing is al-hifd. 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 Al-hifd is memorizing. Al-hifd jayid. Memorizing is good. Let's cover to remember the past tense conjugation for tadhakkar. تذكر 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 أنا تذكرت أنا تذكرت أنا تذكرت. That's I remember. أنت تذكرت أنت تذكرت. You masculine remember. أنت تذكرت أنت تذكرت أنت تذكرت. That's when you're talking to a woman, you're saying you remember. Huwa tadhakkara. Huwa tadhakkara. He remembered. It's when you're talking to someone and you want to say he remembered. Huwa tadhakkara. Hiya tadhakkarat. Hiya tadhakkarat. هي تذكرت. She remembered. نحن تذكرنا. نحن تذكرنا. We remember. نحن تذكرنا. And then أنتم تذكرتم. أنتم تذكرتم. تذكرتم. أنتم تذكرتم. You all remembered. أنتم تذكرتم. أنتم تذكرتم. For they remembered. هم تذكروا. هم تذكروا. هم تذكروا. هم تذكروا. هم تذكروا. هم تذكروا. And if you want to say, I remembered it, whatever it is masculine. تذكرته. 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 If whatever it is you were memorizing or remembering, remembering was feminine, تذكرتها. I remembered it. تذكرتها. تذكرتها. And then our measure 5 or form 5 verbal noun pattern is adding the word the on the front and changing the fatha above the shadda to a dhamma, right? So it's atadakkur, 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 jayid. Remembering is good. Let's do traveling in past tense. أنا سافرت. أنا سافرت. I traveled. أنت سافرت. أنت سافرت. You masculine traveled. أنت سافرتِ. أنتِ سافرتِ. أنتِ سافرتِ. You feminine traveled. هو سافر. هو سافر. هو سافر. He traveled. هو سافر. هي سافرت. هي سافرت. هي سافرت. She traveled. نحن سافرنا. نحن سافرنا. نحن سافرنا. We traveled. أنتم سافرتم. أنتم سافرتم. أنتم سافرتم. You all traveled. هم سافروا. هم سافروا. هم سافروا. They traveled. إليكم is they traveled to you all. معهم is they traveled with them. And then our verbal noun, normally you might expect something here for a form or measure 3 verb, something like musafara, al-musafara, but this breaks the rule and we use as-safar, as-safar, as-safar jayid, as-safar jayid, traveling is good. Let's do our past tense for to listen. أنا استمعت. أنا استمعت. أنا استمعت. أنا استمعت. I listened to. أنت استمعت. أنت استمعت. أنت استمعت. You masculine listen to. أنتِ استمعتِ. أنتِ استمعتِ. أنتِ استمعتِ. You feminine listen to. هو استمع. هو استمع. هو استمع. Make sure you're pronouncing that fatha over the last letter, which happens to be an ain in this case. هو استمع. He listened to, or he listened, and then you can add ila or fi or some other preposition, whatever you want to use. هي استمعت, excuse me. هي استمعت. هي استمعت. هي استمعت. هي استمعت. هي استمعت. She listened. What about we? نحن استمعنا, excuse me. نحن استمعنا. نحن استمعنا. You all is أنتم استمعتم. أنتم استمعتم. استمعتم. And then they, هم استمعوا. 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 هم استمعوا. And then our verbal noun for this verb, this is a measure 8, form 8 verb. We are adding an aleph between the next to last and the last letters, and we add the word the in front. Al-istima'a, al-istima'a, al-istima'a jayid, al-istima'a jayid. Listening is good. For future tense, remember we just add the sa in front of the present tense conjugation. So, se'astamia, se'astamia, you see a dhamma there, it doesn't need to be pronounced. Se'astamia, uh, setastamia, setastamain, seyastamia, setastamia, senastamia, setastameun, 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 seyastameun, seyastameun. Let's do our past tense conjugation of to read or to recite aloud. Ana qara'tu. Ana qara'tu. I read or I recited. Anta qara'ta. Anta qara'ta. You, masculine, read or recited. Anti qara'ti. Anti qara'ti. You, feminine, read or recited. Huwa qara'a. Huwa qara'a. Huwa qara'a. He read or recited. Hiya qara'at. Hiya qara'at. Hiya qara'at. She read or recited. Nahnu qara'na. Nahnu qara'na. We read or recited. Antum qara'tum. Antum qara'tum. You all read or recited. Hum qara'u. Hum qara'u. Hum qara'u. Hum qara'u. They read or recited. Qara'tuhu is I read it. Qara'tuha is I read it, but for a feminine thing that you read. Al-qira'a is reading. Al-qira'a jayida, reading is good. Past tense conjugations for to say or to tell. Ana qultu. Ana qultu. I said or I told. Ana qultu. Anta qulta. Anta qulta. You masculine said or told. Anti kulti. Anti kulti. Notice how we lose our aleph there in the middle for these first and second person singular and plurals. Anti kulti. You feminine said or told. Hua qala. In the third person, we get the aleph back. Hua qala. Hua qala. He said or told. Hiya qalat. Hiya qalat. She said or told. We is nahnu qulna. Nahnu qulna. Notice how we lost our aleph. For you all, antum qultum. Antum qultum. Antum qultum. You all said. And then with our third person, we get it back, whether it's singular or plural, we get our aleph back. Hum qalu. Hum qalu. Hum qalu. They said or told. And then a preposition we often use with this verb is la or li. So lahu said it was said to him. Laha, it was said or told to her. And then the verbal noun al-qawl is the saying or saying. Al-qawl jayid, saying is good, right? This is our concept. Let's do to write in past tense. Katabtu, I wrote. Katabtu, katabta, 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 you masculine wrote. Katabta, katabti, you feminine. Katabti, katabti, you feminine wrote. Kataba, kataba, he wrote. Kataba, kataba, katabat, she wrote. Katabat, she wrote. Katabat. And then katabna, katabna, we wrote. Katabna, katabna. Katabtum, you all wrote. Katabtum, you all wrote. Katabtum. Katabu, katabu, they wrote. Katabu, katabu. Katabtuhu, I wrote it, masculine. Katabtuhu. Katabtuha, I wrote it feminine. I wrote something that's feminine. Katabtuha, katabtuha. And then al-kitaba is writing. And we've already done kun